Hi everyone, this is Peter here. I hope you're having an amazing day. This is gonna be my last compilation video for this year, mostly of bird photography, but I also included some intimate abstract landscape shots that I captured with the Canon R7 and the EF 100 to 400mm IS2. I started focusing more on macro the last few weeks, but I still wanted to share these with you, so let's have a look at what we got. Let's start with a few portraits of a noisy miner, which is a very common Australian species. We have heaps of these around Melbourne, and as their name suggests, can be quite raucous and are generally pretty aggressive and territorial despite their small stature. I took all of these in our backyard, and in this last frame you can see that pointy tongue darting out of its beak while it was making a characteristic territorial call. These next two images are of a beautiful pied currawong. I believe it was a juvenile, and I was really happy that I managed to capture heaps of detail, especially of those beautiful eyes. The vibrant yellow iris looks so stunning. It seems like I can't have a bird photography compilation without my favorite iconic Aussie bird, the Australian magpie. I have befriended so many of them at our local nature reserve, and we have two families that visit us regularly in both the front and backyard. These in-flight shots were captured at a suburban park where two adults were foraging for insects and took them back to their recently fledged chicks. I was really happy with these last two portraits because of the quality of the light and the soft tones of the uncluttered background. I managed to record the following species, which is an eastern rosella, a few times this spring, so feel free to check those videos out. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to grab decent portraits on these occasions. I still wanted to show you these images where the angle was suboptimal, as preferably you would want to capture these beauties at eye level as well. I was happy with the first frame though, where I was shooting through dense vegetation, which created an interesting flare on the left side, and I quite like the overall softness of the image too. I briefly wanted to show you these images where you can see its extremely colorful plumage. There were way too many distracting elements in these frames, a lot of branches, and even though I tried to move around, I couldn't do much better. This last portrait is heavily cropped for maximum detail. The next species is a welcome swallow. They are extremely nimble and change directions so quickly, which makes it very difficult to capture them, even with eye detect autofocus. So for this image, I just pre-focused and took a dozen or so images, and this one nailed the focus on the eye. This is a heavily cropped shot too. The next three shots are of daisies. All of them were shot at 400mm, just at different focusing distances. In this last image, you can see so much detail on this European honeybee that was completely covered in pollen. This next in-flight shot is of a sulfur-crested cockatoo. I recorded a few of these foraging on a meadow the same day. This next shot is of a white-necked heron that was approximately 100 meters from me, so I had to crop in quite a bit for this final shot too. I took a video of this beautiful specimen as well while it was hunting. Here are a couple of in-flight shots of an Australian white ibis that was about to land near the nesting site. Also, there was a large Australian pelican at the reserve that day, and I spent a good hour or so recording it fishing. Here you can see it resting after a hunting session. This is my last in-flight shot for this compilation. I really like the backlighting here that illuminated this Pacific black duck as it took off from the water. You can even see a few water droplets rolling off its plumage. Our last bird species is a common European starling that was introduced to Australia over 100 years ago. I really love their beautiful iridescent plumage. In the breeding season, starlings turn a glossy black with metallic purple or green tints, slightly duller in females. The bill turns dull yellow with a blue base on males, which you can see in these two shots. I left a couple of quasi-abstract landscape shots for last. I really like the layers in this frame and the repetition and different textures on those dry tree trunks. I deliberately increased sharpness and texture detail in Lightroom for this photo, which made it more visually appealing to me. I also have a cropped version in black and white, which works better than the colored version due to the exclusion of the green foreground. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you love nature photography and you enjoyed this video. You might also want to have a look at these next. Thanks again, and catch you all very soon in the next one.